All right, John Faber.
Yep.
It's Friday afternoon
Yep.
at the end of a super jammin' productive week.
Yeah, it was a long week.
On Monday morning, you're going to get up and you're going to come back into work for another jammin' week. What is it that still keeps you excited to come into this place after all these years?
Neil Young. I'm joking, but I do listen to a lot of Neil Young.
That is true. That is true.
Okay. I get excited about helping growing brands, help to grow brands. All sizes really, but mostly the small guys, honestly. Like, I love working with small growing brands. It might be something to do with that's kind of where we came from, like my basement to where we are now, like I can identify with them.
That's true.
But there's something going on out there with small brands and how they're working the market, and also small retailers, and I find that fascinating. There's kind of a sentiment that I run into with a lot of small brands that are, retail might be kind of a pain in the butt, and that's just so wrong. There's so much to be gained by having a wholesale strategy that works, and I love challenging brands to think about there's a network of hundreds of small stores outside of national parks where you could have 3 or 4 people selling your product to consumers. Who wouldn't want that? And you're creating brand value and equity at the same time by having your product in those stores. I get excited about, so I have a passion because I grew up in a small town with, my dad had an auto parts store, like a small auto parts store, totally not outdoor or specialty, I guess, but I saw, our main street go from like a bunch of small stuff like that working to it not working anymore, that whole change. And I get excited about the impact that we can have with like the small brand, the small retailer, and thinking about that nationally, but locally, like all the little communities that we can kind of be a part of by helping brands and retailers work together better. I think that's a really exciting idea. And moreover, old school is cool again, and that's awesome. And for some of you probably are thinking like it's always been cool, and that's true. But it's the person to person. It's the unique product and a unique store that is jamming right now, and I think that's a really exciting idea too. And what's cool is there's really simple things to start. It doesn't need to be so complex, and we get to help with those simple things. I think that's awesome.
So in your view, you think retail is moving back towards that smaller store experience?
Yeah, I was talking to a retailer last night, and he brought up even the large brands he works with are operating like small brands now with their go-to-market approach. They want to support him like he gets supported like small brands. They want to be small brands, and that's not a fault, but it's interesting. Even the large brands are trending towards small. So, yeah.
Do you think you're getting to push the envelope of our industry? Sort of be on the edge of things with this as retail shifts back and you get to work with all these buyers and all these brands and all these retailers and build software to solve their needs?
Yeah, I think we're right there. I think what we're finding is in more and more discussions, what we've found through surveying and talking to real users is news to the people on the other side of the table, and I find that fascinating too. They, just like us, we operate in a vacuum too, but we're being, I think the discussions that we're having are opening up minds to other ways to adapt and modernize their channel. And it isn't like adopting all of the latest innovations. Actually, it's like back to the fundamentals. It's really simple, and we grow brands and retailers to thinking about the complexity, but at the moment there seems to be a lot of focus on the complexity of what it might be to actually satisfy a consumer through a retailer, rather than just like the basics. And there's so much to be gained by just getting the basics down. So yeah, I think we're pushing the envelope by going old school and back to the basics with the fundamentals, which is fun. That's exciting. That's a long way around of saying that's what I'm excited about.
Awesome.
That's what I'm going to do for it.
Plus, you get to listen to Neil Young.
Yeah. And Bruce Springsteen.
Cool. Thanks, John.
Yeah.